Hello Libra, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot, Supportive Oracle cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Okay. Libra. Okay, that's going to be... I feel like you have two situations going on right at the same time that are overlapping. Like there's two, they're overlapping. Things are overlapping. It's really interesting. You've got one situation that you got a lot of rules. Like there's rules all over the place in this situation. Like this has to be done like this, at this time, in this way, with this person, the way they want to do it. And it's kind of like it always goes this way. Something is very strict, very stringent. It is what it is in the sense of like, you know, like, don't try to change things here. Make sure you're on point. Don't do things early. Make sure you definitely don't do them late. Got to keep on point. Got to keep on point. Got to keep on point. And the energy you're dealing with, that's just like, it's almost like that's all they know. There's no negotiation. Like, there's just literally no negotiation. But things are very dependable as long as you stay on point the same way, the same time. Don't do it early. Don't do it late. Same way, same way, same way. As long as you keep that up, I think it's very good. But if it goes off, like I'm getting like, it's like the gears go to a grinding halt. This does not go well. Now there's another situation going on here. This seems to be like a part of this, like it's directly related. Like this might be the main thing. And then there's an offshoot part where you're trying to work through the restriction around it. It's kind of like, how do we explain this? Because I feel like there's just one person, you got to do it their way every time. Do it. And then there's some additional components that work around this, that affect this situation. And that's, you constantly have to fight, and you constantly have to keep it, I can't let this affect my main situation. I have to keep these other situations balanced and on time. And I have to, like, if something goes wrong with this other situation, this one right here, the secondary situation, you kind of have to let that fall through the cracks, is what I'm getting, to keep the main situation going. It seems like it's very complicated. There's also a lot of interference. And it seems like the Ten of Pentacles with the interference here is telling me, it's almost like other people want things to work out their way and they keep trying to change things, and you have to keep fighting to keep that from happening. You're like, no, that can't happen. That's going to go really bad. The other situation I'm dealing with is very strict. If you start messing with things, it screws it right up, brings things to a grinding halt. No, that's the Eight of Swords with the Ace of Swords. You're constantly fighting to keep things on schedule and on point. The energy that you're dealing with doesn't seem to want to do that and is constantly trying to throw things off, yet you always seem to win. You seem to make it work, though. Even though this other secondary situation tries to throw things off balance, you keep it in balance. But your attitude towards it is like, I can't afford to not let it balance. I have to make it balance. I have to force it to balance. Whatever I got to do, I got to make it work. It has to work. The whole situation does seem to keep working with the Fool card in the center, but it's kind of like, it's a very unstable situation is what I'm getting. So it's kind of like, currently we're doing well, but it's kind of like, this is a lot of stress on you. This is a lot of stress on you. Okay, so is this going to get better? Because it might. I'm getting this is getting really complicated, really hard at one point, but it's gonna change the dynamic, and this whole situation might go better. Okay, this is what happens. The secondary situations. It's like somebody just flat out leaves. They're just like, I'm not even gonna do this anymore. They're just gone. Whatever the secondary situation is that's constantly causing you problems and constantly giving you challenges to keep the primary situation on schedule, they just leave. I'm out. Nope, I'm done, Libra. Libra, I am done. They're gone. They're gone. How they're doing it, whether that's right or wrong, you know the answers to that. But I'm getting, once it's done, it's done. The death card comes in on your side, like, there's no fixing it. When they leave, they're just done. They're just done. This was sort of supportive to the primary situation, but when it leaves, it's kind of like it's not a problem anymore, but then it's like, well, now I got to figure out how to handle this. It's very strange. When this happens, it's gonna throw off the primary situation for a little while. I don't see how it couldn't. The one thing leaves. It's almost like there's hardly any explanation. It's just it's gone. But I'm noticing the Ten of Cups come in its place. There's a lot more peaceful atmosphere here. You have to run in really quick, pick up the pieces. Whatever that secondary situation was doing to support the primary situation, you have to move quickly, and you just make the difference up. You're just like, all right. It's almost like at first you're like, I'll just do this temporarily, and this will keep the situation going. But I'm getting you putting in a lot of extra work. You're running in really quick to fix it, and it's putting in a lot of balance here. There's a lot of balance coming in, but the balance that I'm feeling is like you're not bothered by somebody trying to make conflict or controversy or get in your way. You're not really having anything in your way. It's just you have to put more effort in. It's kind of like making Thanksgiving dinner all by yourself. It's like you might have had 5 other people, not even 5. Well, you might have had a lot of other people helping you create Thanksgiving dinner, and it made that part a little easier. But it's like keeping the menu, it's like you had people with sensitive allergies or whatever. There was only certain things you could have during this dinner because other people couldn't have things. But now that all these other people aren't helping you, keeping the menu tight to what it needs to be is really easy because you're the only one cooking. But then again, you're the only one cooking, so all that effort you have to do yourself, and it's a lot. It's a lot, but the outcome is exactly what you need it to be. Yet all the effort you have to put in to make it happen is like, geez, oh my god. Is somebody's coming in to take the place? Like something else is replacing this. I feel like it has to. Like you're only one person. You know what I mean? You can only do this level of engagement for so long before it'll drive you crazy or just wear you out. You can't do it all by yourself permanently. It'll just wipe you out. You know, it will. Somebody else comes in. Page of Wands with the choice. Somebody's making the choice to pick up the pieces for you here. For whatever reason, somebody is coming in. That's what I'm getting with the choice and the Page of Wands. When this comes in, even though you need the help, you're immediately nervous. You got the Devil card with the past lives. You're not having a conflict with this person right off the bat, but you're nervous. You're just kind of like, oh God, now what? Kind of like part of you is like, yeah, I am so tired at the end of the day. I'm so physically worn out that I do need somebody helping me. I do need the help. But on the other hand, it's just kind of like, I don't want the stress. It's almost like I'd rather be completely tired at the end of the day than completely stressed out at the end of the day about fighting with people, making people do things the way that they need to be done. So you're nervous. The past lives talks more about history. More about history, like what I've gone through, what I have to deal with. In this situation, I'm an intuitive reader. I just kind of go with the energy, but it's kind of like I'm worried. And I'm seeing it looks more like I'm worried about what possibly could go wrong here. I'm worried about the possibilities of problems. What they're telling you, though, is this is going to go a lot better than it was. The person, whoever's coming in to help you next, the new supportive energy, I really feel like giving them proof about why it has to be a certain way. This is what I'm dealing with. This is why I have to do it this way. This other situation, the primary situation, is very strict. It has to be so at certain times, not before, not after, in a certain way, every time, every time, every time. If you mess it up, it doesn't work. It implodes. It's not going to work. I'm getting psychic conversations with the Ace of Cups. Is like, the Ace of Cups is you explaining and showing, and this is why, this is why. That psychic conversation is like the other person just seems to understand, like, when you're explaining this, you really mean this, and this is the truth. And they seem to also like get that little bit of intel. It's almost like the universe is kind of helping them see, like, the Libra really does need this to go specifically this way. It has to be specific. Exactly this way, exactly this way, exactly this way. I feel like the psychic conversations, what they're saying with that is they're like saying the universe is gonna back you up and kind of show this person really it literally has to be exactly this way. They've got passion with success here, victory. The Six of Wands is victory. They seem to be very excited about how this is going to work out and how they can support you in this. I don't know how this is going to sound, but the fact of doing things the same way, the same time, every time, I feel like this is going to work for this person. They like the monotony. They like it the same way every time. This is what I got to do, this much, this way, this time, every time. Okay. They're like, okay, that's cool. I can do that. They're right on point with this. They'll do it the same way every time. This energy is more compatible. Much more compatible. Much more compatible. There's a bit of fire coming in with the Page of Rods and with the King of Rods, but Cthulhu is also coming in. Like, whoever is backing you up, they're very excited and very active about doing it the same way every time. It's like one thing they don't have to worry about. As long as they do it this way, by this time, the same way. Like, to them, there's no variables. Just do it this way. Just make sure it's set. I make sure this is done. I even feel like with this person, they can get certain things done ahead of time. It's just like, it's kind of like setting up, your bag. If you're going to go on a trip, it's like packing your bag ahead of time and putting it in the closet a week ahead of time. You got to leave it there, and then when it's time to go, you take it out of the closet and put it where it has to go. And that's kind of how, like, to them, they can plan and they can do things ahead. They just can't give you, they can't put the bag in the car or take the bag wherever it needs to go until it's time to go. To them, they can get it done ahead of time. They just can't apply it until the certain time. You know what I mean? So for them, they're fine. Whoever this is, you know what I mean? It's kind of like if you're going to be cooking the Thanksgiving dinner, they're like, well, I can get, the canned stuff a week ahead of time, just set it to the side. I can, make sure everything's cleaned and ready before ahead of time. I can maybe get the vegetables 2 days ahead of time if I want to, or the meat like a day or so ahead of time. They'll plan it that way, but they're like, but I can't actually start cooking it until this actual moment. They're fine. They fit this secondary energy, this new secondary energy, so much better fit. Cthulhu, like, it makes me feel like people are looking out for each other, like things are matching in well. It's a very good supportive energy. It's very active. The King of Wands, like, I was worried about that. I was thinking, that can be a random energy. I feel like anything that's random here is taken care of on their side, but it's supporting whatever you're doing. This new supportive energy is literally a very compatible, very compatible. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. If you have little hiccups now and then, it's like life is going to have hiccups. Like, it's just going to happen once in a while. Anything else? I feel like they're just trying to give you some hope. Because when I feel like when things change, I feel like there's a new one coming in and it's going to make you extremely nervous. And they're like, just say, give it a moment, let it kind of pan out, let it pan out for a minute. You'll see much more compatibility, much better than what you were dealing with. This is much better. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.